Detroit Become Human was awesome, and I don't care what you say. I've watched so many videos on why it's bad, and I just don't agree at all. Before I get to explaining why I disagree with that stuff, let's just talk about what I like about it. Cinematography is great. The pacing is great. The choose your own adventure aspect of it is great. The aesthetic is really cool. The voice acting and performances are amazing. I literally can't think of a single bad one right now. Connor is very sexy and makes me question my sexuality. This game shows like why androids would be a bad thing, but to me, I see nothing wrong with this plan, because while everyone argues about whether or not it's a good allegory for racism, people seem to not focus on the fact that basically this was such a good outlet to vent frustrations about racism that racism in the game just doesn't exist. You know how like in The Purge, they got all of their anger out by being able to kill anyone they wanted on a singular day, and that reduced the crime rate to like nothing? That's like racism in Detroit Become Human. Everyone's so busy being racist to the androids that they like forgot about being racist to other races of humans. And I'm sure other races besides white people have noticed this. And yeah, I would say nothing too. You don't want them to acknowledge it and be like, oh yeah, we got to start hating these people too. It's great because even if the robots die, then everyone's going to realize like, I was not racist for 5 seconds and the world didn't explode. Everyone gets really mad at it because they're like, it's a really bad allegory for racism. But first of all, has there ever been a good allegory for race? And second of all, I guess kind of, like, sure, they do some kind of really weirdly on the nose, like have them use real life equality symbols and also have them sit in the back of the bus. But other than that, obviously I have no concept of systemic oppression. But like, is being an android kind of not what they treated people like? To me, in order to make someone a slave, you kind of have to treat them like an android. Like they can do tasks and you have to treat it like they don't really have emotions. I don't know. From my ignorant ass point of view, it kind of makes sense. Also, in my first playthrough of the game, every single thing went wrong. I just think it's really funny because for all 3 routes, I just did what I would do in those scenarios, and it ended with a robot apocalypse war. Like by the end, Marcus and Connor were trying to kill each other, even though I acted like myself in that, which is probably an allegory for my own mental health. I probably need more therapy. And then Kara straight up died. I don't even really count this stuff as spoilers because there's like a million different pathways, which is awesome. Like, oh, big surprise, there's a bad ending in a choose your own adventure game. Big whoop. But yeah, anyone who's comparing the racism in Detroit Become Human to real life is just overanalyzing. #RobotLivesMatter.